Employment growth ground to a halt in August. In fact, for the first time since 1945, the federal government reported a net monthly job change of 0. How depressing. New Mexico remains dead last in job growth and continues to face unprecedented economic decline and job loss. Beverly McClure is the president and CEO of the Association of Commerce and Industry New Mexico and has a few solutions to help us jumpstart our economy. Thank you for coming back.
Well, thank you for having me.
Such an important topic, as I always say, and unfortunately not our favorite topic, but it's the reality of our lives right now.
Oh, absolutely. And to follow something fun like the skin thing and come and talk about the economy is always fun.
Well, we're looking for skin solutions now. We're looking for some economic solutions.
Exactly.
So remind us a little bit about the Association first of Commerce and Industry and your role.
Okay, so the Association of Commerce and Industry, we serve as a statewide chamber of commerce.
Right.
And in doing that, we represent all business, large and small, all industry sectors, and all geographic sectors.
Okay.
So, and we connect policy with politics. And one of the things that we were asked to do is to come up with some ideas, some concrete ideas that would help jumpstart the economy and create job growth. And you know, if we're not talking about jobs, we're not talking about the right thing.
No, and we're not going to be able to move forward. So let's talk first about what is the state of the state right now economically.
Well, you know, people get a little confused because they see our unemployment rate go down and, and they say, well, we're less than the national average.
Yes.
But remember, the unemployment rate are only those people that are drawing benefits and continuing to look for work. What's happened in New Mexico is benefits have expired, but people haven't gone back to work because we're not creating the jobs.
That's right.
So now you've got people that are no longer drawing benefits, so they can't buy cars, they can't buy houses.
Right.
You know, you're seeing all of our services go up because the need for, you know, food stamps and those kinds of things has increased.
Even the gas prices are going
Absolutely.
up. I mean, gasoline and the power in gas.
Right.
I mean, we're seeing increases everywhere.
And then the other thing we forget about are the people that are underemployed. So maybe I've got lots of experience and a higher degree, but I'm taking an entry-level job just so I can go back to work.
Great
so
point.
then the college student that just graduated, what do? So it kind of bumps everyone down. So that's the other thing that we don't take into in account when we're talking about the economy.
And it's discouraging. I mean, there are a lot of barriers right now to economic development. So, I mean, you just mentioned a few of those. Are there any that really are standing out right now that we can find some solutions for?
Well, one of the things that we, as New Mexico, are suffering from is that other states are offering some incentives that we aren't. So remember, we're not the only state that needs jobs. We're
Right.
competing with all the other states, and now really even globally for jobs. So what we did is ACI looked at the jobs that the states that have had job growth, and we said, what did they do that we could do? And that's where our jobs agenda came.
Yes,
and
let's talk about that.
Okay, so we just have some ideas, and some of the ideas are based on other states that have job growth.
Okay.
And what they have done is done some tax incentives. And I know folks kind of, you know, it's hard to talk about tax incentives, but you do have to reward someone for coming here and for offering jobs. But also, we need to look at our employers that are here. Because so often as I'm traveling the state, employers say, you know what, you'll do anything to bring in a new company, but what about me? I'm here, I'm employing. You know, why don't you incentivize me? And so we looked at that, maybe some ways to incentivize current employers to hire. Because if you think about it, if each one could hire one, you know, think about it. Maybe we could put some folks back to work.
So what is the job plan that you've proposed?
Well, it's a lot of different components. So it's a combination of incentives that we could look at. Everything from incentivizing oil and gas, for instance, to continue to drill. And that would also help our state budget, because that's how our budget is built, is on the backs of oil and gas and drilling. So it incentivizes new drilling. The governor has placed on the call, and it's something we support, and that's the capital outlay. So folks say, well, what does that mean? Well, it means that we would be able to build and have projects here in the state of New Mexico. And so many of our private sector contractors, architects, engineers are dependent on those public projects.
They sure are.
So it would put people back to work. And so if the legislature during the special session considers that and authorize that and funds it, we could see the construction industry, which, by the way, is one of the hardest hit in our state.
It's really hard
go back to work. So we're really supporting that on our agenda.
We're so happy to hear you're doing that. I think that's a really important point that you just made. And tonight, actually, President Obama will be unveiling his $300 billion plan. Now, that's designed to strengthen our economy and create new jobs. But what are you thinking about that?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting because he's got some of the same ideas in the sense that he's going to create private sector jobs with public money. The difference is because of the deficit and what it'll create, what he's going to face probably in the Congress is they're going to say, well, you're borrowing from the future to take care of us today.
That's exactly
and
where my mind
eventually
is.
Taxes are going to go up. So we really are going to have to balance that. And you know, the good thing about the capital outlay at the state is that the money's already there and it's already earmarked. So we're not borrowing from future money. We're borrowing from, you know, we have money that's already there.
See, that's what we need to do.
So that's the difference. And so I think it's going to be a hard sell probably at the federal level because of the deficit issue that we're already talking about. But at the same time, we've got to come up with some new ideas because what we're doing is not working, and you're seeing that across the nation.
And as I mentioned, people getting very discouraged. So, you know, with your experience and everything that you're doing right now for our state, what would you say to the discouraged job seekers out there? What would your message be?
The message would be to continue to look for jobs, and there are places in our state that are hiring. Lee County is a perfect example because they are doing some drilling there. So you may not get to stay in Albuquerque if that's where you want to be, because Albuquerque's got one of the highest unemployment rates right now. But there are places in our state where you can find jobs. And
some job fairs actually going on today, as a matter of fact.
That's a matter of fact. So to go to those, be sure to always present yourself, keep looking, and know that everyone in our state for sure is focused on creating jobs.
Right, and the fact that we know that people are focused on that and that we're not getting lost in the shuffle, although we are where we are in the ranking. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people like yourself who are trying to do something about it to create these opportunities. So really, I mean, if you're discouraged, as Beverly said, get out there, go to the job fairs. Don't just say it, do something about it.
Right, exactly.
You know? Absolutely. So let's show our viewers where they can go to learn more about ACI as well. Let's take a look at that.
So you can call us at 842-0644. We also on our website, www.acinm.org, we have the jobs agenda on there, as well as some other information that might, legislative information.
Okay, good.
And we'll keep putting updates about the special session and what's going on there, so anyone can look at that and kind of keep up with what's happening. So,
yes, in fact, in regards to the special session, are there any other things that are coming up, any other issues that you're keeping your eye on right now?
Well, of course, the main thing they're there for is redistricting.
Okay.
And redistricting is based on the census, and so there's going to be winners and losers, unfortunately. And some of our rural areas have lost population, and Rio Rancho and the west side of Albuquerque has grown, so you'll see some of that political power is going to shift and some representation. So it is going to be a battle up there in Santa Fe on that, and it's contentious, and you can understand it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Well, will you keep us posted and keep us informed on everything that is going on so that we can stay aware and we can actually find those solutions we're looking for?
Yes, we will, and thank you for having me.
Please do. Please come back. We appreciate all of your information, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that we move up in the ranks. We don't want to be last place anymore.
That's what we need to do.
And coming up next, we're learning to work in a man's world. You don't want to miss that.